1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1.
Mandolin land, Mike Heading here, comes today with the old traditional bluegrass tune, Nobody's Business, in the key of G. Flat and Scruggs did a great version of this tune. I think Doc Watson's done this song. It's been done by a bunch of people. It's a really fun one. It's in the key of G. We're going to work on some classic kind of bluegrass double stop shapes in the key of G, kind of a la Bill Monroe style mandolin. This song is definitely played faster, so it's a good one to work on. Again, playing a faster bluegrass solo, using those bluegrass shapes, using maybe less like thinking in scales and more in like chord positions like a Bill Monroe style solo would be played in. I'll break down both the solos note for note just as I played at the beginning of the video. And then we'll do some backup. Obviously the chords are pretty easy, just G, C, and D. But kind of give you some tips on how to do some chop chords at faster tempos and how to stay in the position so you can get to your solo really easily. We'll break all that down as well. All right, here's Nobody's Business in the key of G. Let's start breaking it down. Here we go. All right, so let's start breaking down this first solo for Nobody's Business. Let's play halfway through it. It'll be like 9 measures, and then we'll start breaking it down. Here we go. I'll do that again. I'll do it slow. Here we go. 1. Okay, so we're going to start in this classic bluegrass shape that's kind of must know if you want to play in the key of G. We're thinking out of this kind of G chop shape here. And the arpeggio that you kind of want to practice is... Those are going to be kind of our main melody notes in the key of G, right? So you have 2 arpeggios. That's kind of the shape we're thinking out of there, right? And you can use scales, you can use arpeggios, you can use licks. But I recommend visualizing the chord shape. That's if you move it around to other keys, that'll be very helpful to visualize that chord shape. So we're starting with this pickup. Again, visualize the shape 1, and then on beat 2, we're going to play the 5th fret on the D string, 2nd fret on the A string, and then 3rd fret on the A string, all downstrokes. 1. Not too hard. And then we're getting up to this 5th fret, which is going to be our melody note with our ring finger. And we're going to do a classic double stop. So play 2 notes. So put your middle finger on the 3rd fret of the high E string. That classic shape. Very classic bluegrass shape. And we're going to play down, a downstroke, and then down, up, down, up, down, up. So 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and. So put those together, sounds like this. 1. Not too hard there. And then we have a little response lick. We're going to go open, high E. So take your middle finger off. Back to that 5th fret. Just keep that finger down. And then 2, open, 5th fret. And the rhythm there is 1, 2, 3, and 4. So I'm going down, 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 up, down. So put 2 and 3 together. It's kind of a phrase. So you have... The other thing that's good practice with that double stop is getting them to both be the same volume, right? It's probably harder on the upstrokes, right? Sometimes it's natural that you'll kind of over-exaggerate one of the strings, but remember this 5th fret's the melody, so we want to make sure we're hearing enough of that. So let's put those together. Like I said, let's do all 3 measures. So we have 1. And then kind of a very classic mandolin move, we're going to take that shape we were just working out of, move it toward the ceiling, which is now going to be like a C. So we're going to do this 2-finger C chord, and then add that ring finger and just do down, up, picking. I love that shape. It's a great sound. So we have Remember, anything you can do on one set of strings on mandolin, you can do on another set. So you can try it on all the strings. It's good practice. Just good practice to get that under your fingers of moving those shapes between the strings like that. So we're going in measure 4. Again, it's kind of a call and response. We have, and then open A string this time, so take your middle finger off. Little different rhythm there than measure 3, but similar idea. 1, 2, 3, 4, and. So let's put all that together. Remember, the chords are G to a C. So we're going 1, G, C. And now we're going to D, the 5 chord. We're going to hit the open D string. And then do a 4-7 slide with your middle finger on the D string while picking. So you kind of slide up to where that note becomes the same as your A string, and then you just, your right hand comes off and just plays the A string on its own. So you kind of slide and then grab this 2nd fret on an upstroke. So you have 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and. That slide just kind of adds a more vocal quality where you're kind of mimicking sliding into a note. Because you're actually jumping off with your right hand, pick, right, to just the A string, right? So you just kind of hear the start of that slide. It's good practice, though. And then a little lick, we're going to go. So 5, 2, open on the A string, and then 5th fret on the D, open A. So you can see in these first 7 measures, we're playing like some alternate picking. And then kind of giving our hand a break for a second. Remember, this is a really fast song, so I kind of use those like single notes as just like giving my hand a little bit of a break. So we go, and then some picking, and then give my hand a break. That's kind of how I think of it. And then picking, and then you kind of give your hand a little pause. Obviously, your right hand's still playing, but just playing those quarter notes kind of, again, you can do that at a faster tempo, right? So if you're just doing straight 8th notes the entire time, that can be a lot when you're playing at a faster tempo. So you can see how we're inserting those little spots to just give our hand a second to recalibrate. It's a fast song, remember. Okay, so coming out of measure 7, we go, and now we're back to G, and we're going to play a little lick. We're going to go, same idea, we're going to use some alternate picking followed by quarter notes to give ourselves a little break. So this time we're going to do a quick 1-2 slide with down-up picking, just a grace note. So just slide really fast. And then 2, 5, 2, open. So kind of just like a little lick. So you come out of measure 7 into that lick. Don't slide too far back here, right? You can play that lick in measure 7. Grab this note. You can even keep this finger down to kind of keep you anchored if you wanted to for a second. And then land here. And then we do our pickup again, right? So that's how we get back into it. We go. Only difference between measure 9 and measure 1 is we don't have beat 1. It's not a rest. We're just adding another 5th fret, right? To fill out the rhythm. So that's basically half of the solo. If you have that part down, you've got majority of it down, right? So let's play through that. We have 1. You can loop it back up to measure 2. Also kind of work on, if you're more of an intermediate player, obviously get the notes down first, but kind of listen to my right hand. I'll kind of over-exaggerate it, but listen to how I'm adding like a little bit of a pulse, like an internal accenting rhythm, right? Like this, 1. You know, obviously when you're starting out, you want to keep all the notes in even volume, but eventually you want to get to where you're adding that kind of a rhythmic pulse, and it's going to vary by player. That's part of where your own individual personality can come out, right? So I'm kind of adding just a little bit of underlying groove to that. And obviously, the faster the song is, the less you might notice that, but you still want to kind of get that in there so you're not just playing all the notes very evenly.